What is going on, guys? This might be the last footage you see from the dev server, considering I'm going to get a new PC today. I don't know if I'm going to be able to save the footage. So, good for you if you hate dev server hype. Bad for you if you wanted to see me play more of it, but I'm sure there will be another dev server in the near future. Regardless, we're going to be working on the M1A1 video in a while. It's been 4 weeks since I've done a no bullshit review. I'm down to get back into it. I've been trying to. But this video is about the MiG-21 entirely. Today I'm flying the J7 III. I think that's what it's called, the J7 III. It's essentially a MiG-21. It is the Chinese version of the MiG-21. And the reason I wanted to make this video is, you know, I did say that the F4 is way better, but later on in the day, after the dev server was winding down, I hopped into Yeffy's server and did some recording, just, you know, no commentary and whatnot, just flew it around. And, you know, I started to get the hang of the MiG-21. It's not an easy plane to fly at all. And obviously, you know, it's the dev server. Everybody says there's things that might change, but most of the time, like, this is kind of how it comes out. This is, we'll see in the next dev server if there are any changes, but if there aren't any changes in the next dev server, it'll probably be completely normal. Another thing about this, while you're watching, it's not your OCD. The elevator doesn't work on this. There's only one side of the elevator that actually moves, and it's the right-hand side, and you'll see that. But the MiG-21, you know, it's definitely not as good of an aircraft all around as the F4 Phantom. It can't carry as much armament. It's not as fast. It doesn't climb as well. And as far as turning, yeah, the MiG-21 can out-turn it, but it's only a small window where the MiG-21 is actually good at turning. Other than that, it loses energy super quick. So, it's an interceptor. And if you fly it like an interceptor, it works really well. Surprise, surprise. So, what do interceptors do? They take off, they reach their altitude, right? And then they intercept whatever is flying that they need to kill, and then they go back and land. Not a huge fuel load, but it's supposed to be a quick, small, fast aircraft that can get somewhere quick, deal with the threat, and then go back to base. They're not meant to be flying sorties. Whereas the F4 is an all-around multi-purpose fighter. It bombed, it went after planes, it did every type of mission you could, you know, think of. So that's kind of why these planes are different, and why they feel different. Because, you know, we're getting to the modern era where it's not as clear-cut anymore as, oh, this plane can kind of do everything. Even though it's just War Thunder and it's a video game, it still carries some characteristics from real life. So you have to throttle manage and manage altitude and speed a lot more in the MiG-21 than you would have to in the F4. The F4 is kind of just a hoss. It will go fast regardless of what you really put it into. Of course, you can get yourself caught up in low speeds at low altitude, and you're kind of shit out of luck. You're going to have to overextend, fly out, and then climb, and then do everything. But that's the same thing with the MiG-21. So my advice when this plane comes out, and hopefully this video will still be relevant for when these planes drop, is you're going to have to, you know, be smart when you engage people. Gaijin said that this is more of a boom and zoomer. I kind of agree with that, but at the same time, I think booming and zooming is not the easiest thing to do, and I don't think you're going to be able to boom and zoom a F4 Phantom. Just simple as that. I think the F4 Phantom is way better at altitude. I think, you know, if you're at a high altitude, you dive on an F4, right? The F4 can dive, go faster than you, pull up, climb faster than you, and get away. So, you know, the actual plane that you're going to be fighting at this tier, the Mach 2 jets, can't really boom and zoom. Now, in terms of anybody else that you're going to be facing, booming and zooming will work. I think you could definitely boom and zoom like a Hunter, F100, anything like that. But the thing is, when you get caught under 1,000 kph, all of those jets perform almost better than you, it seems, which is weird, but it's kind of true. Like, the F100 is not a bad jet still. Even though these two jets are being added, the F100 is still really good. I was getting killed by that all the time in the dev server. And same thing with the Hunter. I noticed that the Hunter's SRAMs are absolutely insane. I don't know if they changed them for the dev server or what, but they're insane. They were doing some massive work to me, and it was very hard to just get away from them. So, let's say you see a jet, right? You're going to have to pick how you're going to engage them, whether you're above them or below them. And make sure you don't fall under 700 kph. Now, a thing that the MiG-21 does really well that I like, and kind of, pulls onto this interceptor role, is you could pull up to a jet at a different angle than the jet is flying at you, right? You don't have to be behind it yet. You can pull up underneath it or on top of it, and you'll see me do it in this video. You rush the jet, you cut your throttle back, you pull as hard as you can because the initial pull on the MiG-21 is insanely good, and then you put your throttle back all the way up, slam it back, and go back into afterburner, and you'll be able to pull onto somebody's six and then stick with them, especially if it's like a lower tier jet, like something that doesn't have the crazy afterburners that the MiG-21 has. So if you pull on somebody like that, you can really harp people. Now, the problem with that is if you do something like that, you're going to lose some speed and you're going to lose some altitude or whatnot. But if you can kill that plane that you hop on the six of within a couple of, tries, and then leave the AO. Don't even try to fight anybody else, because once you get this thing into a turn fight, you'll see here, you can't do too much against even a hunter. You see, like, I'm pulling as hard as I can in a vertical, and it doesn't work. You can't do what the MiG-17 does. If I was in a MiG-17 in that situation, I would have lived, which is crazy because the spiral climb on the MiG-17 is insane. This MiG-21 is a whole new breed. It takes ideas from the MiG, like 17 and 15 play style, and kind of puts them into a different light, but at the same time it is an entirely new beast. So I just wanted to show you guys that and talk a little bit about the MiG-21 and what to expect from it when it comes out. And I'll put some music in the background and you guys can enjoy the rest of this kiltage. I'll see you guys in the next one. Next time you see me, there's not going to be a stream today, but I should be streaming tomorrow. I might stream actually later to test out the new rig, but I'm going to get a new computer. If anybody's curious about the specs of that, it's going to be an i9 9900K, a new motherboard, 32 gigs of RAM, an NVMe, and then I'm putting my 500 gig SSD and a terabyte SSD in there. So I have some storage for games and footage, and then I'm putting my 1070 in there too with my power supply for my current rig, and I'll upgrade the GPU when the new ones come out sometime in the near future. So I hope you guys enjoy. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.